What's up, classmates? So for my interview, I interviewed the Recreation and City Events Manager for my city Parks and Recs department. It was a really interesting interview. Actually, it turned out it was kind of a last minute thing because I made the mistake of calling everybody I knew in the Olympic world, and they're a little busy right now, so I couldn't really get a hold of them. So it was a really interesting conversation, actually, because my town is a lot smaller than some of the other towns in the area. It's kind of a smaller organization, so she's in charge of doing all the budgeting. And what she was talking about was, um, having to be in charge of that, but being publicly accountable, and you only get a set amount of money. Anything above that, any projects or anything like that, have to go through a bond and get voted on. So you're kind of at the mercy of, politics and things like that, which to me is a really interesting dynamic because, the second you put money into the picture, politics are involved. And I think that's true for just about any sport organization. But it's interesting because that's my brother. So it's interesting because, in a smaller town, I kind of asked her a little bit about how they interact with other suburbs in the area. Because I know, as I've told y'all before, it's Dallas, Fort Worth, and then suburbs all in between. But each suburb's a city, and they're all kind of interdependent. And so she was talking about our school district is actually a school district of two cities. And so she was talking about partnering with them and having to use their facilities, which may be in the next town over, and having to be, kind of cooperative in this cooperative movement. It was really interesting just to see a completely different side of the sport industry than kind of what I'm used to. And or what I generally focus on, not what I'm used to, but what I generally tend to focus on. And it's not big time sports either. So it's kind of this middle ground in a town like Spokane, which is a very big city and it's all kind of run under one umbrella. This is like a bunch of small organizations kind of put together. Didn't get any numbers or anything. I didn't really care to know. It's all kind of public knowledge, but I didn't really care to talk about that a lot with her, but it was really interesting to hear what she had to say as far as, allocating funds and putting on programs in the recreation sense is more than just sports, which I know is kind of, to me, at first glance, it seems a little bit irrelevant, but at the same time, it's interesting because, being in a recreation, your umbrella is so much bigger than that. So she was talking about putting on senior activities, STEM classes, which is science, technology, engineering, and math, which is really, really big around here. So, having art classes and things like that, as well as the sports. And they actually just started an adult sand volleyball league, which sounds really cool because the median age here in my town is a little older. There are some young families, but they also have select teams to contend with. We have a lot of traveling teams and a lot of select sport teams that city sports have to compete with. So it was just a really interesting dynamic. Anyway, hope y'all are doing well, and talk to you soon.